Using the batch wizard in Iron Speed Designer Part 2, Audit Trail. The problem: you need an easy way to track which user changed a record and on what date and time. You sure could write many lines of code to accomplish this, but hey, why not do it the easy way? So the simple answer is using the batch wizard. Again, tracking who changed something and when is very important to know why something got changed. And obviously you want it automated for security purposes, because it wouldn't make any sense to implement an audit trail if somebody could come in and cover their track, so to speak. So Iron Speed Designer is part of the batch wizard. One of the choices is to be able to do audit trail tracking. So let's get started and see what happens. Okay, we can start the batch wizard by selecting Tools, Batch Wizard. We'll select Next or Select, and we'll pick the very first entry, which is Audit Trail and Others. We'll click Next, and you'll note that Iron Speed has provided us with 4 convenient choices: updated on, updated by, created on, and created by. If we look at the created on, and you'll notice it's checked, and I can click Edit, and so it has pre-selected the field created on. If your audit field naming is a little different, you can change that. We want this action to happen when we're inserting the record, and we want to apply the formula value of today. Pretty straightforward. Same thing applies for the created by. We click the edit field. We can see it again, created by, or whatever the name of your field is. We want this to happen when we're inserting the record, and we want to apply the value user ID. Naturally, this is presuming that you have security enabled. If you implement this and you do not have security enabled and set up with a logged in user, then it will either error out, or depending on the kind of security you've got, or more likely than not, it will simply write a null value to that field, depending on what the type is. Okay, so that's it. That's very simple. And again, the same thing. We can go in and add our own if we wanted to. If we had some other kind of field that we wanted to have updated, and we could even have that value updated when the user is reading. So we could have a read on and read by option and set that. So if security is that tight, perhaps in an HR application or something, it's very nice that Iron Speed gives us that option to be able to go in and record that kind of information. So that's pretty powerful. And again, you can turn these on or off based upon whether you check them or uncheck them. So that's nice. That means you could create a list of different formulas and perhaps enable them or not enable them as you want to throughout the development process. In this case, we'll pick all 4. We'll click Next. We'll hit Finish. Iron Speed then goes ahead, applies them in its files, and then obviously then we would need to do a build. Make sure that build was done. I guess it was already done, and that should do it. So let's see if we can run this and see what happens. So let's edit a customer record and make a small change, and then see what happens to our auditing field. So I'm going to click the Edit Record button. Here's my customer. In this case, it's Apple. I'm going to set their address as 1 Apple Way, and Cupertino, I think, is where the main office is. We'll leave it as is, and you'll notice right now that the audit fields are all blank. I'm going to hit Save. Gone out, saved the record, return me back to my Show Table page. Let's go back and edit our record, and you'll note in this case now it has put in the updated on. The record already existed, and away we go. Now, if we were to go in and add a new record, customer name would be, let's say, IBM. Won't worry about credit card stuff or expiration dates or anything, and whatever their address is unknown at this time. We hit Save. Then we now realize we have a new record called IBM. Let's go in and edit that, and you'll note that our created on field was set to 12/08/2015 with the time, which is interesting because I don't think it's actually 12 a.m., so I'm kind of curious about that. Nonetheless, that did work. Now, if we wipe this out and we change this to 123 any Lemon Lane and hit Save and go back and edit IBM, you can see that we now have, there's our updated on field, which is actually does have the correct time and date. Although interestingly, for some reason, our created on did not get the right time, but it did get the right date, of course. And the reason that we don't have any created by or updated by is because this particular application doesn't have any user security enabled. And obviously, when I dragged and dropped these fields on here, I just left them as edit fields, when in fact ordinarily they should be literals, because they get updated in behind the scenes in the business layer, and obviously you don't want people changing any of this information. So there you have it. That's how simple it is to do auditing using the Batch Wizard. And so in conclusion to part 2 of the Batch Wizard audit trail tracking, you can see how ridiculously simple it is to implement a simple form of audit trail tracking, and it is really that's all there is to it. As you could tell by being able to select different fields, you could apply different iron speed formulas to different fields. So it actually opens up all kinds of opportunities for updating data in different ways, not just simply audit trail tracking. But fundamentally, that's it. And thank you for watching. If you are looking to provide multiple languages for your iron speed application, then Milestone Localizer is the only tool in the market that will give you full localization for all of your iron speed designer applications. Pick the language, click the localize button, and away you go. And it's just that simple. You can go to ironspeedmvp.com/localizer and download a trial copy today and just see how simple this is. Nothing could be easier.